Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Baywatch. So when I saw the trailers for this, I was really excited, thinking this could be another 21 Jump Street-esque taking of an old TV show, giving it a new and ironic spin on it, and having a lot of fun, having a lot of laughs, and nope, it's not this movie. And unfortunately, a lot of critics are also seeing that, and word of mouth has kind of sunk this ship. And this film hasn't made that much money in terms of what they were expecting for their opening weekend. Now, this movie wasn't, I'm not going to say, it was watchable. Right off the bat, this was a watchable film. I thought that Seth Gordon does an okay job of telling the story and keeping up the pace. I never once felt bored watching this film. And I have a lot higher expectations for Seth Gordon because I love 50/50. He did a fantastic job with that film. I love that. There's a lot worse things going on with this movie than what the director was able to do with this film. And in terms of tension and everything, the the tone of this film is so not right. This goes from being what seems to be a super goofy, like, hey, these people are trying to become a team, and obviously there's going to be some kind of conflict, and you feel like it's going to be more of a character thing, but it turns out that this is supposed to be some kind of serious, like, drug bust movie. It's like, what? And people dying in this film is just like, holy crap. And it's not handled with finesse. It's just like, bam. Just like, people are dead. Didn't see that coming. Wasn't getting that vibe that this is that kind of movie. But it is. And that didn't work well at all for me. And in terms of the story, we go from, it feels like two completely different movies. And this movie becomes way too self-serious and ham-fisting in jokes about, like, this really should be a cop's job. Let's keep doing that over and over and over again, that every time they do something, it's like, you're just lifeguards. It was bad jokes. It wasn't done in a clever way. And making unclever references to, like, this seems like some over-the-top 90s TV show. Thanks for horrible writing. Not great jokes. But looking at this film, I was able to sit through this 2 hours, which, God, why was this movie 2 hours? And it never felt like I was like, when's this going to end? It moved along at a good pace. But the thing is, if you're traveling to something that you don't really care about, then who cares? Because there's a couple of characters that I felt bad for, and honestly, but this wasn't that great of a movie at all. This was a really big misfire and a big missed opportunity at something really cool and refreshing. But the thing is, they went about doing cheap, stupid gags and stuff like that, and a lot of dick jokes, and let's call it a day. And the visuals, the hand-to-hand action sequences are incomprehensible. I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. That wasn't done well. And then the CGI in this is awful. Really, really bad. And I'm like, I could have done better than that. Really couldn't, but you know what I mean. It just wasn't done well, and it made it look really cheap. And in terms of the writing, this is written by committee, my favorite kind of writers. And 95% of the jokes didn't hit. No matter how much charisma and chemistry The Rock and Zac Efron have, because they do. And when those clever, very seldom clever lines actually do hit, it's like, yeah, I like that. Why isn't there more of that? And their interplay between each other was really well done for the most part. And the thing is, if it wasn't for The Rock and Zac Efron, I don't think this movie would have been even anywhere near as watchable as this film turned out to be. My biggest issue with the story is It tried to be way too many things. It tried to do two forced love stories in this film. Zac Efron and Alexandra Daddario's love story going on here is so forced and so been there, done that, and felt so unoriginal. And the one between the really hot blonde one and the chubby kid, it was nice a little bit, but they overdid it a bit. And what was interesting was there was one scene, and I'm going to give away one tiny little plot point here. The Rock and his like right hand woman in this film, they're like sneaking around, and to hide what they were doing, they start making out. And when they pull away, she makes it look like something that you've wanted to do for a very long time, but was hesitant about talking about it. And the one subtle moment in this whole entire film of building character doesn't get returned to at all. And I'm like, honestly, there's probably something more there than either of the two other forced love stories in this movie, but let's not worry about that. And just basically, I didn't care about this drug ring going on. Priyanka Chopra completely wasted with a really bland villainess, and it's just like, hey, I have no characterization besides the fact that I'm a woman. I'm pissed that I get treated like a woman, and I can be better than this. Okay. Whatever. And I got some laughs. The music is worked pretty well into this film. The slow-mo is overdone, like really bad. And overall, I was pretty disappointed by this film. But it was still watchable, and I very rarely give Fs for movies, and those are usually saved for movies where it's like I'm sitting there being like, get me the hell out of here. And unfortunately, that happened twice this year so far. Ugh. And it's not going to happen with this one. Baywatch, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a very low bar for humor. And I know some people that will laugh and enjoy this movie, and unfortunately I just didn't. And I'm going to give Baywatch a D. And just a reminder, so if you do really enjoy watching reviews or even reading movie reviews, please check out my buddy Vinny's channel. His web blog that he does is Let's Talk Movies on cinemaconversations.blogspot.com. He is really great, and he knows his movies. He went to school and learned about movies. I was an accountant. I just enjoy movies a lot. So I have my master's in accounting. He actually studied film, and he knows what he's talking about. So if you want to read some more reviews, I know I enjoy watching other YouTubers and reading reviews of other people's movies. So please check out his channel. You might see some of my videos on here. Maybe this one. Check it out.